In this lesson, we're only focusing on one word, and that word is for. It's a simple word, I know, but there's a trick to pronouncing this word in connected speech that will completely transform your American accent and make you easy to understand in any speaking situation. So let's talk about why the word for is so important. In English, for is one of the words that we usually rush, weaken, or reduce in phrases. In English, we don't give equal stress to every syllable or else we would sound like this. And that's not the rhythm of English. In English, there's an alternating pattern of strong and weak syllables. Strong and weak syllables. So there are places where we linger or sit for a while, and places where we rush through the word and cut the vowel. For is one of the places where we rush. 99% of the time, you're going to pronounce the word for as fur. Let me demonstrate the difference in a phrase. Let's use the phrase not for you. That's the way I'd say it. If you pronounce the word for, it sounds like this. Not for you. Not for you. Not for you. Say it with me. Not for you. Not for you. And it feels very choppy and very equal. Not for you. When we reduce for to fur, it's a better fit for the rhythm of English. To reduce for to fur, you can try a couple of different things. You can use the unstressed vowel, the sound, and pronounce it as fur, like a fur coat. That works, but what works best for most of my students is to think about cutting that vowel completely, deleting the vowel. How quickly can you get from the F to the R? Fur, 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 fur. And it sounds weird by itself, I know that. But remember, this has to happen in connected speech. So let's try that phrase again using fur, the reduced version instead of for. Okay? I'll do it slowly a few times. Not for you. Notice I'm not breaking up the words. Not for you. It's all connected. Not for you. Not for you. Not for you. Now quickly, not for you. Not for you. Not for you. So occurring in connected speech is one condition. The second condition that makes it okay to reduce for to fur is that there can't be any special intention or meaning. By that I mean you can choose to stress the word for, but there would have to be a specific reason, meaning, or intention. As an example, let's say there's a birthday cake sitting on the table, and the birthday cake is for Susan, but James walks in and says, "Hey, can I have a piece of the birthday cake?" I might say, "Well, that's for Susan. It's not for you, but you can have a piece. It's not for you, but you can have a piece," I guess. That would be an example of a reason I would choose to stress it. I also have the choice to just stick with fur and say, well, it's not for you, but you can have a piece. So both are correct. They're different choices. But if you choose to fully say for, and if you were a student in one of my private sessions, I would say, why did you choose to say for instead of fur there? And I would expect you to give me a good answer because I want you to have control over this. It's okay to say, here's what I want you to know. If you're not sure, go with fur. It's for you. That's for them. We're going to practice a lot more examples. When in doubt, reduce it to fur. Reduce it to fur. When in doubt, reduce it to fur because that's more common. If you choose to say for, I want you to know why you're doing it. I want you to have control over this concept and use it when you mean to use it, not something unintentional that's a result of an accent or a pronunciation that you can't control. So that's the difference. You can say for, but you need to explain why you're choosing to do that. Make sense? All right, good. Let's start some practicing. As we practice together, I want you to focus on the contrast, the difference between strong and weak syllables. Remember, strong syllables make the vowel louder, longer, and go up in pitch. For the weak syllable, here it's going to be on for, turning it to fur. Rush through that word. Not for you. Not for you. Do you hear that rhythm? That's the rhythm of the American accent. That's the rhythm of English. And if you can get this, you are going to hear a huge change in the way you sound. Because rhythm is important. Rhythm is so important because the human ear is expecting a very specific rhythm and timing. And this is true of any language. This doesn't just apply to English. Our ears expect a certain rhythm and timing. And if your speech doesn't have that specific rhythm and timing in any language, but here we're talking about English, you won't be easily understood, the communication will break down, and you'll be dealing with some awkward communication situations. And I want to help you avoid that. So I'm not going to say anything else as we practice. We're going to focus on getting some really good repetition practice, shadowing practice. Here, we're really training your mouth to produce this sound or this word and training your brain to create a new habit so that it's there for you when you're speaking in real life conversations. For the rest of this lesson, we're really going to focus on repetition practice. Repetition practice is what builds the muscle memory in your speech articulators to pronounce this word this way. We're also training your brain to make this a habit so that when you need it, it happens automatically and consistently in everyday speech. Working on this concept of reducing words, and there are others we'll work on in other lessons, this is one of the most powerful ways to improve your accent, to improve your pronunciation, and to sound like a native speaker so that you're easily understood. This also helps with your listening skills. If you know this is happening, you're going to be able to comprehend English speakers a lot better as well. So let's focus on the word for. Let's focus on reducing it to fur. Really find that contrast between strong and weak syllables. I'm going to model the phrase. Just repeat after me. Let's do it. Letter for her. Not for long. A place for you. A part for him. 3 for $1. Save some for later. Up for anything. Time for lunch. Arrested for theft. Leave some for me. Use it for a month. Try it for a year. Waiting for you. Too much for that. What's for dinner? Hay is for horses. Test for blood type. Shipped for free. Listen for mistakes. Easy for you to say. Can see for miles. Ready for summer. None for me. That's all for now. Gone for the day. Late for work. A check for the landlord. Borrow the book for a week. Headed for Hollywood. Great for circulation. Signed up for a membership. Too early for that. Do anything for you. Buy a gift for him. Been friends for a long time. Had a message for you. Was there for 4 hours. All right, I wasn't going to interrupt this practice, but I want you to notice the difference between reducing FOR for to fur. We would never reduce the number 4. FOUR for. You will never say fur. So feel the difference in this phrase. For 4. For 4. For 4. 4 has that nice long wavy vowel. We're going to do that phrase like 3 times together. We'll do it 3 times together, just so you can feel the difference between the reduced word for and the number 4. Let's take that phrase. I'll do it slowly the first time, then we'll speed it up. Here we go. Was there for 4 hours. Little faster. Was there for 4 hours. Conversational pace. Was there for 4 hours. Perfect. Moving on. Looking for suspects. Difficult for me to express. Made plans for the weekend. Let's try that as a question, because this is one of those short little phrases that we could use as a question. Let's say it's Friday, we're having coffee with a friend. So, made plans for the weekend? I don't have to say, did you make plans for the weekend? I can shorten that. We do that a lot in English for a question. We shorten full questions to 1 word, 2 word, 3 words. Try this with a questioning intonation going up at the end of the line. Made plans for the weekend? And of course, say for, not for, right? Made plans for the weekend? No. Made plans for the weekend? Again. Made plans for the weekend? One more time. Made plans for the weekend? Good. And hopefully you made some really exciting and fun plans for the weekend. But now it's back to practicing. Can be used for cleaning. Closed for renovations. They dated for a while. Made a cake for the party. These are for everyone. Excited for the event. Embarrassing for them. Save it for another time. Desperate for attention. Queen for a day. It's for correcting mistakes. Only for personal use. Song was written for his mother. Not right for me, but perfect for you. Nominated for an award. Looking for the perfect dress. Evaluate for progress. What's the basis for your theory? Try that one again. That's a tough one because your is also one of these words that we reduce. So right there together, 2 unstressed words. We're not saying for your, we're saying for your theory. So just try that part slowly. For your theory. And then stress that the only thing that's going to help you get this difficult combination is to sit on the syllable, the strong syllable in theory. Theory. For your theory. For your theory. Jump up the steps. For your theory. For your theory. For your theory. Good. Now let's put the whole thing together with what's the basis for your theory. What's the basis for your theory? What's the basis for your theory? Conversational pace. We'll do it twice. This is tough. What's the basis for your theory? And questioning intonation at the end. So make sure you're getting that on this last go. What's the basis for your theory? Good. That's a challenging one. Okay. Want some ketchup for your fries? There's your for your again. So now that you've got it, it's in the next one too. Okay, good. You've got it. This is good practice for that. So keep that happening. For your. Want some ketchup for your fries? Of course I do. Get more for your money. Rehearse for the performance. Was honored for her work. The right man for the job. Solution for the problem. Provided for your convenience. Let's do that one again. Provided for your convenience. Can't speak for anyone else, but searching for parts for the car. 2 4s in there. Make sure they're both for. Searching for parts for the car. And there's your rhythm. Searching for parts for the car. Searching for parts for the car. Searching for parts for the car. I reduce it so much sometimes that the R almost goes away. Almost. And there are many dialects of English that do cut that R. Not because it's because of this rule in particular, but it's a hard sound to do. So it's very easy to just cut it completely. But I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just saying that you might hear that. And if it does happen, don't fight it, because honestly, the rhythm is more important than pronunciation of any single word. That overall rhythm that people expect, that's really important when speaking English. Okay, almost done here. Let's get to it. Finish strong with our fur. Went shopping for furniture. Again, went shopping for furniture. Could I see you for a moment? Still works for the company. Leaving for good this time. Questions for the accountant. Thanks for all your help. Great job. Remember, using the unstressed or rushed or reduced version of for instead of for will make your speech flow more naturally and make you more easily understood, and you'll sound more like a native speaker if that's your goal. And I'm not saying that that should be your goal. But the nice thing about working on this is that it's also training your ear to expect that rhythm and timing from native speakers of English, so your comprehension will improve as well. Great sound to work on. Keep practicing these phrases and they will show up in your daily speech. The more you practice with this lesson, the more this habit of saying for and rushing through it, the more that habit will be there for you and you won't even have to think about it. So if you have questions, please let me know, and I look forward to seeing you in another lesson.